Hello and welcome to Plant-Based Logic. My name is Alistair and today we've got a special guest. We met my sister before, now we meet my brother-in-law, her husband, the lovely Brady Borg. How you going, mate?
Going great, thank you for having me.
Man, you're such a big dude.
Oh, stop it.
I can't do it.
Stop it, would you? Look at you.
You got a bromance. It's nice when your sister marries somebody you like. It's cool.
Exactly. Like love. Lol.
Shut up, don't tell anybody. She can hear. You're vegan. How long have you been vegan for?
I've been vegan for 6 years.
6 years. And what made you make that change?
A bit of compassion.
So it was a compassion thing.
It was a compassion thing, yeah.
I've been vegan, plant-based 10 years, a vegan for 8. So when I met you, you weren't. So when you met my sister, she had just gone vegetarian? Or
She was vegetarian, yeah.
did that sort of impact? Because it's really weird. Like, I know there's a lot of people talk about having sort of non-vegetarian or vegan partners. Was that difficult at the start?
No, it wasn't. She was nice and she was adorable. I made her a plant-based salad.
Yeah.
And stuffed it up. But the thought was there, the nicety was there,
So there was that sort of mutual respect.
Exactly, yeah.
So what was the catalyst for you then? So because when I met you, and just letting everybody know, Brady was a steak for breakfast, tuna, all the protein. It was protein.
100%.
What was the catalyst though to say, you know what, I'm gonna go vegan now? I know you said the compassion stuff.
Yeah.
There was something.
It was. I was at my brother's in LA.
Okay.
I'd done 6 months in South America, and we come back, and he was plant-based, and he's gone, hey dude, watch these documentaries, because I'm bored, no money, no tango de niro, I was all out of money, so I was just chilling in his house, and he's like, just watch these documentaries, and I was like, all right, sweet. I think I watched Earthlings and Dominion. I think I watched.
Okay.
Watched those two, and I come home and his ex-wife was like, so what did you do? I was like, oh, I watched Dominion Earthlings. She's just like, what? Oh shit! And he's like, you alright? I was like, oh yeah. It's not cool. It wasn't a cool video. Fuck.
It's not cool.
It wasn't cool.
On a scale of 1 to cool, it's definitely
not there. Yeah.
Not cool.
Yeah. Those poor little fuckers don't deserve that.
I found Earthlings, that was the thing that just did it for me. Because I went plant-based for health to start with, and then I watched Earthlings, and I don't know, there's this sort of mentality about being a man, and sort of men eat meat and blah, 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 when we don't show emotion and stuff. And I just felt like for years I never showed any emotion.
Yeah, gotcha.
And I feel like Earthlings allowed me to feel.
Yeah.
And I just went, boom, it just all fell out. Did you sort of have that sort of experience, or was it just no, I just don't want to be part of it?
It was just, I don't want to be a part of it, but it was also it was definitely the empathy side of things, is you could feel for them, and you could feel for those animals and things like that.
Sure.
They don't deserve that. Come on, that's a bit rough.
It's a bit rough.
It's a bit rough.
She's pretty rough. I mean, literally a knife.
Do what the humans don't care.
Yeah, screw humans. We love animals. Not,
exactly right.
No, humans, yeah.
Exactly, yeah.
But so what were some of your biggest fears? I mean, obviously there's some sort of misconceptions. We're going to go vegan and we're going to just lose all our muscle or collapse in a heap. Was that a fear for you? Or
availability. We're talking 6 years ago.
Yeah,
we didn't have tofurkey. We didn't have nearabouts any of the beyond. We didn't have all that jazz. Obviously, being Australia.
Yeah. Okay.
It was a lot less.
Yeah.
And then so it was a lot of beans and tofu when we first started, and then it was a lot of potatoes.
Yeah.
Love me potatoes for days.
So many
a lot
potatoes.
of potatoes. But then obviously as time changes and things evolve, and you've got so many more creature comforts, things like that. So you've got a lot of those things. Initially it was fuck when we eat. It pretty much was that. But now I'm it's so easy. It's literally so easy. I can just mung on something whatever I want, and it's fine.
A lot of friends who are especially into the gym and stuff, they will say things like, oh, I just like being able to throw a couple of eggs in a pot or open up a can of tuna. And I know that when I went, or we went vegan, we didn't have those things. So it was effort. Do you find now, it's just, as you say, so much easier? Do you have those sorts of go-to? What are your go-to meals?
Okay, so for instance, if you say right off the bat, tuna, you got tuna.
Oh, tuna.
Tuna.
Yep.
You got tuna. I like the yellow one. I think it's cracked pepper.
Yep, no worries.
Pepper one. That one with rice, you could just boom, chuck it on. There's basically the same as what I was having as before. And that's a quick go-to. We've got, like I said, I do eat a lot of potatoes. Like I've got the tofurkey and stuff. If Alana doesn't like it, but I'll just eat the whole packet. It's so easy. It's like, just eat the whole thing. It's easy. But it's like $7. It's like solid.
Vegan tax, guys. Vegan tax.
Of course, yeah.
That's
You've got
the only
sausages. You've got like, we've got those little Italian tofurkey sausages we found the other day.
Yeah.
One sausage in the packet has 13 grams of protein. One sausage, and it's only like that big.
That's so good.
So it's just like eat that, eat something else, and there's your 20 grams. Top it up with a protein shake, and you're well over your needed for pre-workout for gym or post-workout for gym.
And perfect. And you're not having to kill any animals. There's no cruelty involved. It's just like boom, it's easy.
Bring seitan in the picture too.
Oh man, seitan.
Even again.
We're gonna make seitan together, guys. We're gonna have a bro cooking show making seitan together. I'm loving it.
I'm super keen for that.
So yeah, we're talking like manliness before. You're a tradie. Right? So you're a roofer, metal roofer. You got the boys.
Yeah.
How's it been being the only? I'm assuming you're the only vegan on site.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah. So I personally wouldn't drop the V bomb. I would go plant based.
Sure.
And then they'd give you this perplexed look, and they're like, "What is that?" And then most people give you a perplexed look, like, "Oh, what's that?"
Yeah.
So I won't tell anyone.
Okay.
I got caught at where I work now at H&M. Represent. We went away.
Yeah.
And we were in Grafton, and we went away, and we're going out for dinner and stuff like that. And what are you gonna get tonight? Oh, steak night tonight. It's like, let's grab a salad. Bit of a picky eater. Yeah, cool. Went on for a week. Went away. We come back because we're week on, week off. Same again. And the bloke's like, one of the boys goes to me, Mark. He goes, you don't order eggs or steak. And I'm like, a bit of a picky eater, mate. Yeah, not feeling a big lunch, Oh, okay. And the next night, same again. Did salad with, olives and like big salad, then with a side of chips and some gravy. And it's just like, I was chock as full. Like I was good. And then he's like, order steak tomorrow night. And I'm like, we'll see, mate. We'll see what happens. Yeah, sweet. Get there, order a salad again. He comes back, he goes, you're fucking vegan, aren't you? And I was like, oh, yeah, I am, yeah. Busted. That was like 4 months in. No one knew. So, yeah. And to this day, no one fucking cares. No one says anything. I'm not an in your face guy. And I guess the boys I work with obviously are very respectful as well, that no one says anything about it. When we have dues and stuff like that, I will just be the guy that, like, for myself, I'll just be like, Jamie's like, what do you want? He's the boss. He's like, what do you want? I'm like, mate, don't worry about me. I'll sort myself out. I'll have a feed before I go, or I'll just bring my sausages and just fucking cook them on the side. Like, I'm not a fussy person. I don't care.
Yeah.
Really. It's me being the minority versus the majority. So
sure.
I'm not going to kick them off.
Have you found just by being vegan? Because I was talking to Alana about this, like the veganism is like a train of many carriages when you come to activism. Do you feel like just being vegan, like any of the boys have sort of made any changes?
Yeah, 100%. So as soon as it, like, obviously it came out and stuff like that, one of the older boys jumped on our crew, Glenn. He's like 55, lean as, he's like 65 kilos, eats well, and he is a big advocate for just healthy eating.
Okay.
I'll come over to his house and he goes, his wife goes, do you want a coffee? And she goes, oh, sorry, we don't have any milk. And Glenn the elder, he's like, it's all right, he's all good. And I'm like, yeah, I drink soy like all the time. It's soy milk, that's what I have. And she's like, great. And then she goes, oh, I've got these brownies, but they're raw. And I'm like, that's my food, that's sweet, I love this.
That's my jam.
Let's go, this is great, yeah.
I love it,
It's really good, yeah. So, and then another bloke too, sorry, one more guy at the crew, G, and he's the same, like, he's just had that acknowledgement where he's been like, I feel like crap if I eat fucking steak all the time, man. I feel like shit. Because he went, I think he went away back to NZ for a wedding, and he ate meat and stuff. And then he goes, oh, I feel like shit. And he come back, because day to day he eats like relatively clean and relatively like minimal meat and stuff.
So it's just funny, like by just being there, sort of planting those little plant-based seeds, you are sort of making a change. But it's weird, like we're kind of a funny family because my whole family, except for Dad, but he's moving that way. Very picky. But he's moving that way. But pretty much my whole family and your whole family, bar your mum.
Yeah. But she's very accommodating. She's very easygoing.
But it's weird though, like pretty much our two families are vegan. And that is so weird because I know a lot of people say they feel very alone. Do you find it's weird how just normal it is now. Like I feel like some days like we'll just be together and we'll be eating vegan all week. I'll go out and I'm like, oh shit, people still eat animals. Like that's still a thing. What year is this? Like come on guys, it's 2020.
I know exactly what you mean. Yeah, it's totally right.
So like do you find that like we're kind of got an advantage that our whole families are vegan?
Oh,
like
totally. It definitely helps, especially like you said, when your partner is the same. Like if I was still eating meat and Alana was plant-based, it would be very conflicting. We haven't cooked a single animal product in each of our houses. Yeah. And that is because like you come to our house, you know, you're going to be respectful. You're going to just go with the flow. And I expect that of my friends, because if I go to their house, they'll cook their stuff and I'll eat mine on the side. I'll cook mine first and then just have it on the side. But I'm not going to raise a fuss, and I don't expect them to raise a fuss. Yeah. Because it's going to be just easygoing, like just easygoing people, like, you know. I'm very lucky, very glad.
Congratulations on your wedding.
Thank you.
It was a couple of weeks ago now. It was fantastic. I loved it, and it was a full vegan wedding.
Yeah.
I asked Alana the question, did she have anybody who kicked up a fuss? Like your mates being blokey blokes, did any of them any of them bring up sort of a question?
Did she tell you about one of the boys who said about the vegetarian thing with his missus? Oh, okay, so we're in the car and Mikey, he's a bit of a picky eater. Yeah. And he goes to me in the car, he's like, hey bro, my missus is vegetarian, don't forget, just add it to the dietary requirements. And it was on the bucks at the end of the bender, and I was just like, oh yeah, bro, it's sweet. The whole thing's vegan anyway. And he's just like, cool.
It's like, oh no.
Yeah. And I was like, yeah. It was just one of those things. I just totally, like, again, I just didn't even realize. I was just like the normal, like, yeah, I'm not paying for meat. It's my wedding. I'm doing my.
It's like kind of like your house. Like it's an extension. It's like this is my house.
I'm paying all this money for this. I'm doing what I want. I'm ready to eat anything I want. You know.
Yeah. Like, yeah. And the thing is, like, it goes back to that respectful thing. Like, you know, you want your friends to respect your ethical stance. I mean, at the end of the day, this is for the animals. We realize that we're in a very non-vegan world. Yeah. It's hard when you're the minority going, guys, you're killing animals. Wake up. But at the same time, it's sort of like having to accept that that's the reality. Yeah. But then saying, hey, no, you've got to respect my ethical decision. We're having a vegan wedding. Yeah. And all I heard was, I was a bit of a fly on the wall that wedding. I was just sort of listening around, and they're going, Brady looks amazing. He looks fresh. He looks like, and they're saying, oh, like Alana looks beautiful, her skin. And they're talking about your family. They're talking about our family. We're all bright and healthy and happy, and we've been vegan for years. And they're like, one of the guys goes like, I feel like shit. Like I feel horrible all the time. And these guys are like energetic, they're happy, they're healthy. Maybe I might give this veganism like a look. So again, it goes back to that activism. Yeah. The passive activism. Passive activism seems to work. It's sort of like a Trojan horse gets under people's people's radars. Yeah. All right, I've got to ask you though, what do you miss? What I miss
off the top of my head would be steak. Yeah? Yeah. Just it'd be the texture, it'd be the flavour. Like just that. I like that.
Kind of that rip.
Yeah, just that. I definitely would miss that.
But I do make a mean vegan steak,
and we're gonna crush that.
We're gonna crush it, guys. We're gonna make the best vegan steak. And I remember making that for you, and you just went nuts.
I was just like, you know, most weeks, Alana would be like, "What do you want for dinner?" And I'm like, seitan. I'm like, I want seitan steaks.
I always think with sort of vegans, like with steak and stuff, everyone's like, oh, it's the steak that tastes good. But actually, I had my friend who's like, he's a meat eater. He's like, you know what, steak's actually not. I think our memory of it is always sort of different because we've had so many different spices and flavors, and all vegan food is so flavorful. I've never had I can't say never, but majority of vegan food is just so. Really tasty. Yeah. So when you can actually control, if you can get the texture right, which I think with seitan we can, we can control the flavors that we put into it. Totally. So but I understand.
Because it would be the seasoning, the simple seasoning on top, which is like, you know, you might get like onion powder or like all-purpose seasoning, or you know, you might get some nice seasoning and salt and stuff like that. That tastes really good. Yeah. If you put that on seitan, it's going to taste really good because it's just the seasoning.
It's always trying to get that texture right, though. I feel like vegan companies really haven't quite got the texture 100%. But man, they're changing, man. Like we got so many. Like we had that bacon today, that vegan bacon.
Yeah,
that was good, man. And the sausages are good. But have you found any performance differences? Like have you
like straight away off the bat? My variables were a lot different.
Okay.
So, you know, like living by yourself, you've got a lot of free time. Obviously, that's hands down free time. Like, but straight away, I was like, my heaviest, I was like 90 kilos or 89.9. I was like my heaviest.
Yeah.
And then, but I could never, like, obviously, like I had like a six pack stuff, but there was always like a little bit I could just never get rid of. And as soon as I went, boom, that thing went. Like the little, like just as
soon as you went plant-based?
yeah, it just changed straight away. It just went straight away.
But you got a bit small. You get smaller, or
again, I'm not doing what I used to do.
okay, all
The
right.
definitely lost. That's exactly what I just said. Yeah.
We got my sister coming. She just said that he's lost his fat sack. It
was just like I definitely lost like my little thing. Yeah, that's exactly what I was talking about. Thank you for the third person. Yeah. But yeah, like I haven't gone back to that training regime ever again.
This would be fun. This might be an experiment.
To do it again.
I'm thinking this could be a good video. Would you be keen on doing this? Like if we were to say...
Oh, we need some time.
No, that's it. Like we could do this. Like I reckon we could sit down, work out the variables and say like how much you needed to eat and the training regime to see...
I've never calorie counted. I've never weighed anything. I've never done any of that stuff.
This could be fun.
Eat a lot and lift heavy weights. It's pretty
Guys,
simple.
if you want to see a Brady Borg... let's see what he can do. I'm excited to see what he can do. This would be interesting. So if you want to see that, put it down in the comment section below. This is a big question. We've got a lot of guys who say they want to go vegan, but they're afraid of sort of how their friends...
Scared.
Yeah, I mean, that's it. Like, I've got this whole video coming out. I might actually release this video before it, saying that when I went vegan, I actually I became less manly. And I mean it like less toxic masculinity, because I was always afraid of what other guys thought of me. Now I don't give a shit. Like I honestly don't care. I feel like I've got more confidence going vegan. It gave me that sort of that permission to be a man. Have you found that, or you've always been sort of your own dude? You never really gave a shit anyway.
That's you've pretty much in a nutshell, mate. Yeah, that's exactly right. Like I don't need anyone's approval. I don't really care. It's like cool.
What would be the advice you give to a guy who's thinking about going vegan, but he's afraid, like he is scared?
Okay, so you've got basically, you probably want to, if you're already having those thoughts, you probably want to be more passive. Just keep it low key, like you said. Like if you go out places, either eat before or just like order something and then without, and then half the time people don't even really notice. There's really no love lost in losing someone, or if your values don't line up anymore. That's fine. If they're gonna hold you over a barrel over something you eat, then their friendship wasn't really built on much, was it?
That's actually a really good point. I think it's also like if a friend is willing to lose you over something so silly, they're never really your friend. It's about you, and I think if you've got the confidence in yourself, you don't really give a shit. Like you don't care. So
exactly
I think that's the.
And there's no perfect vegan. You're always gonna have little mishaps when you start and things like that, and you don't beat yourself up over that. Like
just move on to the next thing.
Exactly. Just as long as you're the best version of vegan you can be, that's all that matters, mate, isn't it?
I love it.
Like I stuffed up one meal. Might as well go eat a village. That doesn't make sense, does it? Like
I love it. I love it, man. It's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much for coming.
Appreciate it, big boy. Anytime.
Guys, if you want Brady on again, I think we're going to try and get him to do this bodybuilding challenge. I'm excied. We've also spoken about me getting back into health, because I've been a little bit crap. Yeah, whatever. All right, so we're probably going to do a fitness video. So he's probably going to run me through some things. But thank you so much for coming, guys. Like, subscribe, and until next time, my name's Alistair. This is Brady. It's Plant-Based Logic, and bye for now. Cheers, man. Cheers.
Appreciate it.
Good,
awesome. Look at that. It was easy. It wasn't that bad.
It was good fun.
I was sketchy at first. I was like, fuck, this is going to be so hard.